Let's do it.
Welcome to Movies on the Side. This is Stephen Robles.
And I'm Nate Baranowski.
It's been a minute since we recorded, but I'm excited because we're going to talk about the Dark Knight Trilogy, the Christopher Nolan trilogy with Christian Bale, Michael Keane, not Michael Shannon.
Or Michael Keaton.
Not Michael Keaton.
But
not
Michael
Michael
Caine.
Moore.
Michael Caine.
And we're going to try and do Michael Caine's impression multiple times. But this is great because we just recorded a bonus episode, which you can listen to at patreon.com/moviesontheside or directly on Apple Podcast about how difficult it is to choose a movie now because it's just a dearth of options. Is it dearth? Darth. It's a cornucopia.
It's not Darth.
It's definitely not Darth. There's a cornucopia of options. There's too many options on streaming services, and we just want someone to tell us what to watch because what I end up doing is just saying, I'm going to watch Batman Begins again because I don't know what to watch, and that's what I did. But honestly, I don't regret it because I enjoyed watching those movies again. I will say I pulled them up because I was like, these are movies that I want to show my kids someday. And I was like, I think it's scary at parts, but let me rewatch. Let me see how dark these Dark Knight movies actually are, and maybe they'd be okay for my kid. No, they're not okay yet.
No.
They're not okay yet. No. And Heath Ledger alone is amazing as the Joker, but I don't even know if adults should see that. I might have been troubled by it. It's I don't know. But the Scarecrow in Batman Begins is scary too. They're all scary. They're too scary. You can't do it.
Right. I would say maybe the third movie is the least scary movie of them when it comes to villain.
When it comes to actual fear.
Oh, doorbell.
Oh, you hear that doorbell? Yeah.
Who's here?
That was terrifying. So my HomePod's telling me
your house is coming alive around you.
It's a smart house. It is the least scary for sure because the first two are literally all about fear. It's literally about fear, instilling fear. It's all fear.
The third movie only gets scared in sort of a giant geopolitical thing about uprisings. And if that scares you, then the third one is the scariest.
We've lived through enough of those to not scare.
We'll give the power back to the people.
Wait a minute. So basically, the Batman Dark Knight Trilogy has given us good accents to mimic for memes. I feel like, if anything, they've given us Bane.
I feel like I have a decent Heath Ledger Joker that is probably too scary to pull out in the middle of this episode. But I think what we'll do is at the very end, after we sign off, if you want to stay around and hear my Heath Ledger Joker impression.
I'm going to add 10 seconds of silence.
And for those who want to just get on out, they can. Now, hold on a second.
I'm scared.
Now, hold on a second. There's something about 10 seconds of silence. If you weren't paying attention and kind of passively listening, you thought the episode was over, and all of a sudden, a Joker voice comes up.
The dissonant strings up there. It is so harrowing. I want to tell you my first memory, though, of Batman Begins.
Perfect, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about next.
I saw Batman Begins in a legit, my first IMAX theater. That it was massive. This was one of the biggest IMAX theaters I've been to. And I went there with my friend Evan, and I think David was there too. We were watching this movie. I was riveted. I mean, it was just an incredible experience. I look over at Evan, and he's asleep. He's literally asleep in an IMAX theater, which is an incredible talent to be able to just fall asleep anywhere.
Wow.
But I was legitimately I don't know how you did that. But it felt incredible at the beginning. And I remember when I used to buy cheap sound systems for my room when I was in high school, those 5 speakers in a box with the DVD player. I had the Batman Begins DVD and the tumbler, the Batmobile of those movies. I would go to those scenes and just listen to it whip around in those cheap speakers. And it was just one of my favorite experiences. I loved it. But tell me, what was yours?
I took my brother, friend of the show, Jacob, to go see this movie in theaters. And I traumatized my brother.
How old was he at the time?
When did this movie come out? I don't even remember.
2005. It was 2005.
So he would have been, he was born in 91. So he would have been 14.
Oh, that's not, he's not, yeah. See, that's what I mean.
See,
the Scarecrow.
Okay, so he was 14, and I walked out of that movie this is great. That was a lot of fun. And he walked, I think halfway through the movie, if I remember correctly,
climbed under the siege.
Jake, you can correct me. I actually feel really bad about this now.
Still feel guilt.
I'm pretty sure he asked, like, can we go? Like, can we leave?
And you
Like,
said, no, I paid for these tickets. Sit in that seat.
So I think I traumatized my brother to this movie. To this day, I'm not sure if he's seen this movie again.
He might be triggered right now. We should have listed a trigger warning. I'm sorry, Jacob.
Oh, well, he saw the title Dark Knight Trilogy and he knew. So anyway, approximately how many years later? Sorry, Jake, for making
18
you
years later?
18 years later. I'm
17
sorry for forcing you to stay in a scary movie.
That's funny. Do you know what this got on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way? Batman Begins?
Probably like 85.
Sheesh. You've been on a roll. It was 84. 84 critic score. Audience, what do you think?
92.
94. Good call. It's high marks.
Okay, so I remember, like, my thoughts of this was, this is a superhero. Like, to me, this was like this was pre-MCU.
Pre-Marvel, yeah. We had what was the Green
thing.
Lantern? When was the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern?
Maybe slightly after this, and the X-Men were before this. So I was already a fan of X-Men.
Right. Green Lantern was 2011.
But this was the old Batman. By old Batman, I mean I watched like the Adam West Batman back in the day, but the Michael Keaton Batmans were a little bit too.
Yes, that whatever that.
They were
is.
A little too Tim Burton-y, maybe, if that's what I was.
Yeah,
a
like
little
the penguin,
a little too body horror-ish.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Which,
and it was before a lot of good special effects, so it was hard to.
It was a little different, but there was something about this Bruce Wayne that felt like, whoa,
it was
like
a serious
this makes sense.
Superhero. It was a serious superhero, no campiness, no cheesiness. Although I will say, going back to watch it with today's eyes is a little cheesy.
A little cheesier.
Some of the fight scenes are a little,
I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. The Scarecrow as a bad guy, not amazing. Ra's al Ghul as a bad guy.
Liam Neeson.
Very cool.
Liam Neeson. That's all I wanted to say. Liam Neeson. But anyway.
You left me in your house and left me to die.
Wait,
hold on a second. Wait, that was a little too Sean Connery.
Yeah, it was a little Sean Connery. Okay, working on Liam Neeson.
You left me in your house and left me to die.
A little too fast. You're getting nervous. You're getting too nervous doing these actions.
You burned my house and left me for dead.
There you go.
Turn the tables on you, Mr. Wayne.
Ooh, that was good. No, this felt, and it
you
felt
can
like
be more than an idea.
Okay, how long are we doing this? We got a limited.
A legend, Mr. Wayne.
The League of
Shadows. Idea.
The League of Shadows. I can't do a Liam Neeson. Anyway, Batman. It was an incredible experience for the superhero movie. It was like the first time, like, we now have good superhero movies, and then Nate, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. So I watched all three of these in a row, as you do. Not in a row, but over several nights. I watched The Batman Begins, and then I watched The Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises. Because I was like, I want a good perspective on these movies. Because everyone talks about The Dark Knight being like one of the best superhero movies ever. And like I've seen people on social media, they compare it to today. They're like, number one, still The Dark Knight. And I was like, is that true? Like, are we still there? Yeah, I think we are still there. I think it is really, really great. And Heath Ledger is one of the most harrowing villains as the Joker of any superhero movie.
Here's what The Dark Knight does. But everyone needs to remember that all three of these movies are flawed. Like, they are flawed in various ways. These are not perfect movies.
Right.
And by any means. They just, the few things they do right, they do really, really, really right. For example, first movie, I think, is the best origin story, kind of flash back and forth, of a superhero I have seen.
Although, okay, do you think Batman
beating
Begins...
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the first Iron Man.
Okay, you're right. That might be better. I think
it does beat it. I think the first Iron Man beats it. It's close. It's a good origin story. That first Iron Man, though.
It feels like...
good.
I actually feel like maybe the origin story works because I could imagine Bruce Wayne actually putting in the like, I'm giving up all this wealth. I don't care about this. I'm like going to join this super secret society. And I felt like the work he had to put in to do it, which nowadays is kind of like, well, I guess in some superheroes, they become super because of some sort of genetic thing that happens to them. This felt like actually nails how Batman's just a dude with nothing to lose and a ton of money. And you can do anything. You can change your voice and become gravelly. So anyway.
You want to talk about the voice? You want to talk about the voice right now? Because, I mean, this is pervasive.
It kind of gets gravelier the longer you go. By the third movie, it's mostly just this all the time. There we go.
I'll have to play a clip. As you watch the Dark Knight Trilogy, his voice changer, which they never really show. I feel like in other superhero...
Wait, I don't think he's not wearing a voice changer. He's just changing his voice.
He's just like physically doing a voice.
Right.
I think that's it, because there are other versions of Batman, I think, where like they'll show him like peel something off his neck, like Mission Impossible style.
Really?
Or there's some kind of voice changer that like I don't know. I feel like maybe because the Ben Affleck Batman. Anyway, they never show it, so I guess it's just him doing a voice. It's him doing it.
Just him doing a voice.
This is the voice. No, that's not
no.
the voice.
But do it again. Do it again.
No,
that was good
because
you kind of Fozzie Beared it a little bit, but like
I kind of Fozzie Bear. It's
do it again. Do it again. Say where are you keeping the drugs?
Where are you keeping the drugs?
That's not bad.
That wasn't bad, right?
Yell Rachel.
Rachel. It got worse. Maybe it was the middle one. Rachel.
The drugs are hiding. They are behind the barrels. They are.
Yoda Begins. That's the name of that movie. Yeah. No.
Okay.
It gets really gravelly. You got to watch it with captions. Which
right.
Do you watch movies with captions? Have we talked about that?
Yeah, I've started doing it more and more. Especially come Dark Knight Rises, between Bane and Batman, like you basically need it at all
you
times.
You go entire scenes and not know anything.
The people will say it's wrong.
What did you say?
I've once is small.
Okay, cool.
You're born in the dark, molded by.
Okay, cool. We
get it. We get it.
But back to my overarching point.
Oh yes.
First movie, origin story is amazing.
Yes.
Liam Neeson is amazing. I would say the early action of Batman Begins, back when he's like attacking the dudes down at the docks.
That's very
And he's
good.
just whisking people off screen.
Very good.
Before you see a lot of Batman doing stuff.
Right.
It's very good. Like him using the little thing of like, back up. And he like drops the thing down there and all the bats come. Like, very cool.
Very cool.
I would say the ultimate climax of Batman Begins. Meh. Fine. Dark Knight Rises is all Heath Ledger. It's all Joker. It's all the creepiest, baddest, but most unhinged dude you've ever seen as a bad guy. And it is top tier villain.
Oh, it's so good.
There are other parts of that movie. I think that's where the whole surveillance part comes in. That's all in that, right?
Yes, it is.
I even think the Two-Face stuff is like, I don't need any of this.
That CG is real bad too. As I was watching back, the CG.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I still think it was. I still think it was fine. Okay, I'm gonna watch it again.
What do you think Rotten Tomatoes
but like,
is for?
did you need Two-Face for Dark Knight?
Well, okay, let's get to that in a second. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes was for the Dark Knight? It's the same. It's the same critic and audience score. Exactly.
Oh, then 94.
Wow, you nailed it. I don't know what's happening, Nate. I don't know what kind of superpower that you gained. That would be the lamest superpower. Ability to guess Rotten Tomato scores.
I'm not the guesser that Motts needs, but I'm the guesser that Motts deserves.
Listen, of all the movies, that line, which is at the very end of the Dark Knight movie, where Batman says to Commissioner Gordon, "Not the hero Gotham." Wait, what is the quote?
I don't even know. But anyway, it was so epic we didn't remember it.
It's not the hero that Gotham deserves, but the hero Gotham needs, or something like that. One of the best lines. I'll play it. I'll just play the movie clip.
Okay, perfect.
Really good line, and it is pervasive now in culture. I feel like that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, side note, we're going to talk about Two-Face. Commissioner Gordon throughout all three of these movies, one of the best characters, just amazing. Commissioner Gordon.
Gary Oldman makes me. I root for him. I root for his life when he's in danger. I root for him, and that's what you need. You need somebody other than Batman that you care about. Exactly. Let's also real talk about Rachel Dawes. Let's real quick talk.
Yes, which they changed the actress from the first movie to the second.
That I think hurts me so badly in movies. The recasting of people. I'm looking at you, Iron Man 2, and Rhodey.
For Rhodey.
I think the recasting of people really takes me out of a movie.
So you're all calling her this name, but that's not her name.
I need it rewritten as like, this
Someone
is
else.
Tiffany Dawes, Rachel's sister.
maybe not that, but yeah, I don't think you need to have that
Dawes.
through line. You didn't need to have that through line. I feel like I think it would have been fine. You could have just had it be a different character that he was interested in. Maybe build some like phony baloney backstory that you just throw in with a flashback. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't enjoy the switching of actresses.
No, not in
another thing that I don't particularly, another flaw of that movie. But
like you
Heath
said,
Ledger and that pencil.
the pencil, but the scene in the party when he's like walking around. And
the opening scene with the bus and the robbery.
I can't even talk about it. They're all so amazing. But I want to get back to your question. Did you need Two-Face in this movie? No. I think they should have not had Two-Face. Even if you have Harvey Dent as some character, maybe he just dies sacrificially. You know what I mean? Like he could have just.
I would have loved. Okay, well, let's move towards the third movie as we kind of bridge it. I would have rather had him be Harvey Dent and not be Two-Face until like a post-credit scene of Dark Knight. Can you imagine? You imagine that sort of thing where like he's in the hospital bed and we get like a turn and he's just hearing Joker's voice in his head as he's like contemplating through. Set that up.
Do you remember Jim Carrey was the Riddler in a Batman movie?
I do. Yeah, I do. And Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. Right.
I think I was down for that Two-Face. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that. Dark Knight Rises, the third in the trilogy with. Oh no, Doctor the Dog. Anyway, Dark Knight.
Wait, we haven't even discussed this.
What?
Who would you rather have on your team? Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman is in these movies. Yes.
As your tech guy.
He's a good tech guy.
Would you rather have him on your team? Yeah. Would you rather have Michael Caine on your team? Or would you rather have Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon? Who do you want as your ally?
That's a tough question because there's many times either the tumbler or the bat, like the flying thing in the third movie, really comes into play, plus the whole surveillance thing. I would probably take Lucius Fox, although I feel like Michael Caine is like the emotional and mental support for Batman in all these movies and is kind of necessary for that progression to happen. And I think Michael Caine rescues him at one point. Like he gets sprayed by the Scarecrow in Batman Begins, and then Michael Caine comes to rescue him, like gets him in the car. I think there was a scene like that. I thought so.
Yeah, he's like, because he calls for Alfred.
Alfred. Sorry, that was a
hey.
So which one would you take?
I think I'm going with Lucius Fox. I think.
Yeah, you got to go with Lucius Fox. I think. Nate is having someone break into his office right now.
Hi, buddy.
About to have a co-host, a third co-host. There it is. I can't see him, but I believe he's there.
Yep, cropped off screen.
Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises. What did you think the Rotten Tomatoes was? Audience, they're 3% different.
Dark Knight Rises, I think, is going to go down to like 81.
It was 87 and 90.
Okay.
87 critic score, 90 audience score. Still good. I still like Tom Hardy as a bad guy. I liked Bane, even though you can only understand half of what he said. I was still down for it.
He was good. I do feel like I really like kind of old, broken down Bruce Wayne.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a fun start to a movie.
Yes.
I just don't think it felt like I was watching a very old athlete make one more lap.
Talking about Tom Brady with the Bucks.
Yeah,
one more season.
I'm just watching. Yeah, I'm watching Tom Brady. Just like, I think you're doing it. I think you're good.
Yeah,
but I really liked it when you were a little younger,
sprier.
And that's not just a. What's his name? Bruce Wayne actor.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. That's not a Christian Bale thing. It's not like I wish Christian Bale was younger. No. It was almost like the whole franchise. And maybe Christopher Nolan was like, I'm a little sick of getting stuck in this franchise. I felt like there was some fatigue built into the movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt it too. I mean, I was rooting for it to like all wrap up and be good. But I did feel by the end of it of like, all right.
I will say the ending, how they literally wrapped the last little few seconds of the third movie, I think they actually wrap it up nicely. I think they put a nice little bow. And I want to give it away, no spoiler for that in case no one's ever seen it. But I feel like it does wrap up a trilogy with some closure that doesn't make you keep expecting that there be another Christopher Nolan movie. And I think I wanted to watch this trilogy.
Except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I feel like they sort of gave you something and then they took it away.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that. I liked his character in the movie. I think he was good in it, but I don't think he needed to be like Robin, whatever.
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who plays maybe Robin, ostensibly.
He did. I think at the end they actually say, "Why don't you use your first name, Robin?"
Robin.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have, if you had to take somebody out and put somebody in, give me Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Robin in the movie.
Sure.
I would have loved for him to be Robin.
Not in the costume, though. Not in the weird red and yellow.
Yeah, but Batman wasn't in like his blue and gray spandex throughout the thing. So they could do a little bit more. I want to say Chris O'Donnell in one of them was in a Robin costume that wasn't super like Teen Titans color.
What do we think about the Batman suit compared to like Ben Affleck, the metal bat suit, and then you have like the Batman bat suit, which is a little more subdued? How did you feel about the cowl and the Batman suit?
I'm a big fan of the suit. I'm less of a fan of the suit in the third one. I think as Christian Bale gets a little thinner, I do feel like, and the suit gets a little bit more mobile and bendy. There's something about the neck that obviously you want it to turn, but I kind of, in the look of it, don't want it to turn.
Yeah,
I kind of want it to be like rigid and big cowl.
Yeah.
So I think there's something about like when he went into full like bike helmet, him with just the ears, not as great.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the suit. I feel like of all the many different Batman suits, problematic like George Clooney suit and Val Kilmer, I think this suit was one of the best.
Let's talk about Batman in general. Let's kind of go off on a Batman tangent for a second.
Sure.
Where is Batman when it comes to superheroes for you personally? Not these movies, but just the character of Bruce Wayne and Batman. What kind of tier are you putting him on?
It's weird because when I was younger, like middle school, there was the Batman Superman adventures that I would watch every afternoon.
Animated?
From school, the animated series. That Batman and Superman, I loved. I loved that Batman. I thought it was really good. Now, I feel like because the DC universe is so weird and the Batman, good, but not my style. I feel less inclined towards Batman. I'll see clips on TikTok of the old Batman Superman adventures, and I'm like, I like that Batman. But
that's my Batman.
That's my Batman. But I'm also like, I'm down with Batman in this Dark Knight Trilogy like capsule, and I'm like, okay, I'll love watching another Batman. But when it comes to superheroes, it's pretty low for me. I don't know if that's controversial. What about you?
I think Batman is fine, but has never really has never really been up there for me. So I'd say he's sort of middle of the road. And when it comes to Batman movies, like I feel like I will continue to see them. Sure. I think Gotham in general is like a fun kind of creepy place, which I'm down for.
Sure.
But
not too creepy, just a little creepy.
Not all the way Tim Burton. I like my sort of Christopher Nolan-esque. I'm down for.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, that's Batman. Are we rating the trilogy?
I would rate the trilogy as a whole 4.5 out of 5. trilogy as a whole. I'm gonna go. It's
And
really
you've
good.
seen it
I think
recently. You just saw it. So
I've seen it recently. It's really good. It's got problems. I think Batman Begins is closer to like 3.5-ish to 4. And then like The Dark Knight Rises is like almost close to 5. So I think it evens out.
then
Like
Dark Knight Rises comes back down. It kind
it comes out. I'm gonna 4. Yeah, so I'm gonna go like 4. I'm gonna go 4.5.
Okay. I'll probably go like a solid 4. Probably solid 4 for the whole thing across. I have a final question for you. Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne. Do you believe him?
That's in
Are
the
they-
Batman.
are they-
That's not in this trilogy.
Selena Kyle is Anne Hathaway in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, you were saying the character
Catwoman.
name. I'm sorry. No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe them together. Didn't
I
do it for
don't-
you.
No, I mean a little bit, but not enough. I don't know. Did
Okay.
you believe it?
I wanted
I wanted to believe it.
I wanted
to
more.
believe it.
I wanted to.
Sure, but I didn't
But-
actually.
Yeah, it didn't really connect for me. I don't believe Bruce Wayne would ever have a love interest. Sorry,
Fair.
Rachel Dawes.
Fair. All right, let us know what you thought. Our Instagram @movies on the side. You can catch our bonus episodes, links in the show notes. Stay after for the music. There's going to be 10 seconds of silence, but Nate's going to do his Joker impression. And here we go.
There's something really fine inside of the movies where, well, what you find is that if you dig down deep enough, you'll find a little nugget. And once the little nugget is revealed, it's excellent. And I'm just a dog chasing a car. And so eventually we all get, well, run over a little bit. Thank you.
What'd you think?
Nate, that was terrifying. That was a little too good.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry for everyone who stuck around.
Stuck
to listen to
around.
that because you're not sleeping
But
tonight.
you had a choice.
But that was really good. I am impressed. Well done.